Hello there, friends. Danny here of Danny's Dreams, and today I am going to attempt to make my first process video. I've had the hardest time wrapping my mind around making a process video, and I think that's because normally I color my images and then I find the rest of my elements. So to put together a video that way is really kind of difficult. So today I'm going to try to change my way of thinking, and I'm going to, like I said, attempt my first process video. I'm going to be hopefully using some of these. After this little intro, I'm going to go to the process and I will do a voiceover. If I bring in anything else or I get rid of anything, I will be sure to try to mention that. As always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below and I'll try to answer them as quickly as I can. And I will also link everything that I can find, because I might use some things from my stash, but I'll link everything, all the products that I can find in the description box below, as well as a link to the blog post that would have more information. So today I'm going to use the Not Too Shabby Stamp of the Month from February 2022 fairy doors and the coordinating dies that are the coolest things ever, because they have little hinges so that you can open. And I'm also going to use this retired, I believe it's retired, it might be available still, I'm not sure, Fairy Happy stamp set from the Greeting Farm. I'm going to be using dots for spring from the Not Too Shabby shop. And then I haven't decided. I know I'm going to make a Slimline, but I'm not sure which one of these I might use. They're both from Whimsy Stamps. One is a Slimline card builder and one is a Slimline birthday scallops. So I'll be using one of those. I will probably be doing some ink blending, and I'm not sure what else. So I will switch now to doing a voiceover, speed up the process, and cross my fingers that my brain will let me create this way, because I hope to be sharing more of these as I get more confident in this style of card making. Isn't it funny how we get into a routine of doing things one way and then we have to train our brain to think about it a different way? So crossing fingers, I got this down, and here we go. So here I'm just inking up that fairy door stamp. It is a new stamp, so I did inked it up twice, and I needed 3 of them. So I just flip my paper around and then I get out a new paper. I am using the Catherine Pooler cardstock. It has become one of my most favorite cardstocks for Copic coloring, and I love it. So again, just inking that up. Love my Misty. Make sure that I get a good impression. Then I'm bringing in the fairies, choosing which 3 I want to use, and I'll be stamping those up as well. Here I am showing that I cut 3 of the doors with the die out of the pattern paper, and I'm just cutting off the door because I want that to be showing in the background, but not, I didn't know how else to get it so that it'd be the exact shape. So I just cut them out and cut off the door. Here I am doing some coloring. I did speed that up pretty quick I apologize, I did not keep track of the markers that I used, and I know it's very fast, especially when I get to the colored pencils. I hope to be doing some coloring videos, even though when I did a poll, no one said that they like to watch them. I do, so I will work on improving those skills for that. I do like how these turned out. It is such a, I mean, there's so many different ways you could color it up, but I just chose to do it all as wood, and I only show you one here because all three of them I colored the same. But I did use Copic markers first, and then I went over it with Prismacolor pencils. It's a favorite technique of mine. I had my pencils out of my reach, but I have changed that, so I hope to be using them more often in my coloring. Next up was coloring the fairies. Since they are so small, I didn't do very much blending or like much shading or anything, just very simple since they were such tiny images. And then after I got all those colored, I die cut the doors and cut the fairies out. I fussy cut the fairies. To get my pattern paper to work on the doors to show through when you open it up, I cut out 3 of the doors with just the die and in just a simple white cardstock, and then I glued that pattern paper on top of it and then glued the door on top of that. Therefore, like when you open it up, you'll just see that pattern paper, and plus it gave it a little bit more, made it a little bit more sturdy. And it was just an easier way to do it than try to figure out like what size circle I needed or anything. That way it fit exactly the way it needed to be. I had glued down the fairies to the pattern paper, but my camera cut out. Here I had ended up using that Whimsy Stamps Slimline card builder die, and then I just do some very simple ink blending with some Distress Oxide inks onto bristle smooth cardstock. I haven't done a lot of ink blending just by itself. I use stencils a lot, so it turned out okay. I did a little bit more blue than I wanted to, but in the end I like it. So I also, as it gets a little bit closer to being done, I used some Avery L shimmer spray on it to give it some sparkle, and since the Distress Oxide inks are water reactive, gave it like some splotches, just gave it some interest. And I forgot to say I did that off camera because my cat Alyssa is always so curious when I get out the box that I have to spray things in, so it was just easier to do that part off camera. Camera, I have put the card together. Got my stamp on the back, always important so people know who made it. I've got an extra paper inside. I couldn't decide what I wanted to stamp there, so I didn't stamp anything today. Got that bristle smooth, ink blended and sprayed panel down. I don't know if you can catch the shimmer, but it's super shimmery. And then I glued down, which I guess I need to add a little bit more glue, all the fairy doors, and also stamped my sentiment, make a wish. So when you open up the little doors, there's the little fairies waiting for you. And now I'm just going to add some sequins. I'm using this Tinkerbell sequin mix from Cat Scrappiness, but it came in the box of the month for February 2022, along with the little embellishment tray, which I already had one. So now I have two, which is awesome. They are really nice to have. But I just thought it would be a pretty addition to my card. So I'm just going to kind of scatter them throughout the card. I'm going to go ahead and put the glue down first so that it gets kind of tacky. And if I need to add more or whatever, then I can do that. I have my jewel picker here. My cat is walking through. Hopefully she does not decide to jump over here. Again, just adding just a little bit of something. I thought about adding like the butterfly from the stamp set or another fairy or something, but I couldn't decide, and I really kind of like the way this looks, so I just kind of left it as is. I thought the sequins would give it that little extra touch it needed. I think that looks, I think we need maybe one more right up here. Do a bigger one of these. And there we go. There is my finished card. So hopefully you can see all the shimmer. And then again, behind each door is a little fairy. I think it turned out super cute. I really love this stamp set, and the dies just make it so fun. And thanks for stopping by. If you like what you see, I hope that you will give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. And until my next video, have an amazing day.